In a world where ancient old white people take over young, sexy black bodies. Get Out, the musical, starring Alexander Hamilton in the title role of The Get Out. Coming to Broadway this fall. Now, as you already know, the Broadway musical Hairspray ended racism forever in 2002, but even when racism was over, there were still lots of problems, like, why are millennials killing golf? Why are millennials killing snow globes? Why aren't millennials sucking Thomas Jefferson's dick? And most importantly, why can't two opposing sides with diametrically opposed views agree on anything? In 2015, the Broadway musical Hamilton set out to solve all three of those problems and more, and it worked like a charm, baby. In an interview in late 2014, Lin-Manuel said of the show, "I'm gonna fix politics for this musical. I'm gonna show that you can get anybody to come to a compromise." I'll give you an example right now. Right. You take some pro-war people, you take some anti-war people, you put them in a room, no food, no water, you come back 3 weeks later, the surviving members have reached a compromise. They say, we're not going to do lots of war, we're not going to do no war. We've decided we're just going to do a little war, just a little. And that's what Hamilton is, just a little war. Compromise. In these sobering times, Lin-Manuel gave the country what it needed the most. An episode of Schoolhouse Rock with special guest star, the ghost of Tupac Shakur! And Lin-Manuel Miranda is uniquely suited to write this show because he is, first of all, black. Second of all, an immigrant. Third, the son of a whore and a Scotsman. And Hamilton did something truly revolutionary. It made the Founding Fathers rap. Finally, Democrats and Republicans could come together to say, "Hey, you blacks, if you love rapping so much, why don't you found America while you're at it? These guys did it." Finally, Democrats and Republicans could agree that the Founding Fathers did nothing wrong. You should have to own property to be able to vote 100%. Hamilton really brought Democrats and Republicans together, so much so that there were no disagreements between the two ever again. So much so that when Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia finally croaked like the fucking disgusting toad he is and President Barack Obama nominated a replacement, Republicans were like, hey, you know what? Just go ahead and get him in. We're not going to hold this up for a year so we can get someone we want and someone you don't, because that's how fucking politics works. We're going to treat this like a fair game. The most important thing is not policy, but civility. Is definitely a thing that the Republicans said. Democrats and Republicans could also agree that Sally Hemings was not a 14-year-old slave that Thomas Jefferson raped and impregnated repeatedly, but was in fact, and they don't teach you this in the history books, just a thirsty hoe who inspired Drake's Hotline Bling. Hamilton also had a profound impact on the 2016 presidential election. As a result of the show's heroic efforts, the winner of the national race, determined solely by write-in votes in a historic first, was determined to be Angelica Schuyler's reanimated corpse. The country was obviously quite pleased with this outcome, although it did become a bit of an issue as she refused to stop twerking in the Oval Office, eventually resulting in her fat, pog ass hitting the nuclear button, instantly wiping Canada off the face of the earth. But most people were okay with that. Hamilton also solved xenophobia because, hey you guys, I know you hate immigrants, but what if an immigrant was George Washington? Whoa. You guys, wasn't Jesus an immigrant? Then, Hamilton did the most revolutionary thing of all. When Vice President Cock McCuntface saw the show on Broadway, the cast got together and took a powerful stand that shocked the world. They gave the Vice President a strongly worded plea. "Please, Mr. McCuntface, please work for all of us." And it worked like a charm, and there was no blowback whatsoever. The cast was applauded on how civil they were, and that they disagreed with someone without resorting to name-calling. The vice president was so moved by the experience, he personally paid for the entire cast to get gay conversion therapy, even the ones who were already gay. In essence, Hamilton said, "Hey, look, I know you've spent your entire career trying to make life hell for me and all the people that are like me, and there is no reason to think you would ever change your mind about that, but hey, we're both Americans, right? Did you see that articulate young man pontificate about fucking bitches on top of the Liberty Bell? What's that? Medicare for all? Oh, my cunt face, you shouldn't have." It just goes to show you, kids, you should always be nice to those in power. Because after all the mass deportations and the rounding up of political dissidents and the absolute annihilation of social welfare, it may look like they've won. But you'll know that you got the last laugh, because you didn't sink to their level. And who knows, when it comes time for the great reckoning, you might even be spared. Or maybe not. Pardon me, are you Lin-Manuel Miranda? Duh. Please fart on me, cause I am such a fan. Duh.